I'm I'm Rob Skinner, and this is the Rob Skinner podcast. It's Faith Fail Friday. I once had a faith fail that almost made me miss preaching my own sermon in Japan. We were at a church retreat on a mountaintop outside of Tokyo, and it's beautiful. It's like on this hilltop, gorgeous retreat site, lots of golf courses all around it. And I think at that time I was preparing for a Tokyo marathon, and so I was trying to get some extra time in running. And so I decided to go for a quick run, a sunrise run before my sermon. I was preaching to the entire church, and actually, it was all the churches in Japan. I think it was at a retreat, all Japan retreat, just to clear my head before preaching. So I take off. I start running down the roads. They're all winding and beautiful, and Japan is so green. It's such an incredibly beautiful country. And so I come to this golf course and there's this fairway, and I'm like, okay, if I go across here, then I can just kind of come back. I'll just loop around. And I had it all figured out. I think I know the resort's back here. And so I could probably cut the cross this and just loop back. And bad idea. 5 minutes turns into 15, 15 into 30. Pretty soon I was completely and hopelessly lost in rural Tokyo. I mean, no one around. It's like Sunday morning. It's quiet. I'm in my running shorts with no clue where the resort is. I mean, I thought I had an idea. And I've always prided myself on having a good sense of direction. And I mean, I was just gone, totally, totally lost. And so I'm running and running, and I decide, okay, I've got to go downhill. I got to get off this hill here, and somewhere there's got to be a town where I can talk to somebody and get some directions on where I'm going. So finally, I find a 7-Eleven. They're everywhere. They're completely ubiquitous in Japan. I run inside and I ask the clerk where the hotel was, and so he just kind of stares at me. This happened a lot when I was in Japan, just kind of, stare at the foreigner. They're just kind of like looking at me. And I'm telling him, hey, you know, how do I get to the resort? And he's a younger guy. He's like a teen. And he just points. He just points, doesn't say much. He just points. And he points in this direction. He says, "Toi," which means far in Japan. So it just uses this one word. And you know that feeling of panic that sets in when you go, "Uh-oh." I'm looking at my watch. I'm like, I'm far from the resort. Am I going to make it? What's happening? And this this is like, I didn't have my cell phone. I didn't have a cell phone with me, no connection, no calls. And I know my wife's like completely freaking out. And I know like I'm the one who's supposed to be scheduled to preach. So I look at my watch. I've got to preach in just a few minutes. It seems like miles away. So I sprinted back in the direction that he pointed, and I stumbled into the lobby 15 minutes before the sermon. And so the whole church is completely worried. I'm in my sweatpants. I've been gone almost 3 hours. In Proverbs chapter 3, in verse 5 through 6, it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight." Sometimes we get lost, not because God abandoned us, but because we leaned on our own understanding instead of God's direction. I wasn't lost because Japan is confusing, and Japan is a little bit confusing. But really, I was lost because I assumed I knew the way. I took pride in my sense of direction. I figured I could just eyeball it. I didn't pause. I didn't plan. I didn't tell anyone where I was going. I didn't ask. I didn't pray. I just kept on running. That's how a lot of us start our days off, our relationships, our ministries. We just take off running, and then we just figure out we're going to figure it out along the way. And then we wonder why we feel disoriented, tired, or spiritually just far from home, just completely out there in the boondocks. But here's the good news. God is great at rescuing runners, and he'll put people into your life that'll point you in the right direction. It may be far, you may have drifted way far from where you should be, but they will give you the direction. He straightens paths for people who finally stop long enough to ask him which way to go. So here's a one sentence takeaway: a short detour becomes a long disaster when we stop trusting God's direction. It was funny when I got there, my wife, she was so panicked, and everyone else on the staff, like, where are you? We were worried about you. We didn't know what happened to you. Oh my gosh. I'm glad I made it back. Thanks for listening to the program. My goal is to inspire you to live a no regrets life, make this life count, and multiply disciples, leaders, and churches. If you're enjoying the program, I'd like to ask you to do me a favor. Let your friends know about it. Just spread it around. Text people with a link or read one of my books. I just wrote a book called The 10X Christian. And the goal there is to help you to be a fruitful and productive and growing disciple who brings Jesus 10 times what he gave you. Have a great day and make this life count.